Good evening. Thanks so much for being here tonight. We are live. It is Monday, June 28th. And this is our final installment of our little live stream mini-series, And What About You? And tonight we're asking, what kind of books are you reading? Very good medium for a lot of us. So if you have an answer for that, please let me know in the comments below or in the chat, and I would be more than happy to read them out and see what you guys have. This is kind of a taste-making session for me as well as you, and I hope that we can come away from this getting something a little bit special out of these shows. So I'm going to start off with Wind's song tonight. Hope you enjoy the show. I see you dancing there, but there's tension in your stare, as if the world is disturbing your peace, as if there's something deep inside you try so hard to hide. You aching to find your sweet release. Just come with me, and I'll show you a place where the wind flows free. I'll let the warm air hit your face. There's no disgrace of breathing in, and so we begin in the corner of your home little room. It's like roses in bloom, breathe it in. There's freedom in the basking in the wind. Just take a seat with me, let it run free. There is no shame, feel the tension ooze away. I still want you by my side. Makes you feel alive. Feel the fragrance of creation as you stay. It's a love so fine, but now just let it flow from your depths into mine. I let the warm air hit your face. There's no disgrace of breathing in, and so we begin in the corner of your home little room. It's like roses in bloom, breathe it in. There's freedom in the basking in the wind. Once you're satisfied, just return to the dancing to the soundtrack of your life. So you know, if the tension ever grows, I come back here to find me and let the wind blow. Let the warm air hit your face. There's no disgrace, so breathe it in. And so we begin in the corner of your home little room. It's like roses in bloom, breathe it in. There's freedom in the basking in the wind. There's freedom in the basking in the wind. All right, that was Wind's song, and in addition to talking about some of the books that we're reading, I also wanted to perform songs tonight that kind of read like a good book in order to blend in with the theme a little bit. And I'll be explaining a little bit about how some of these songs are. There are a few that I wrote and a few covers as well. This first one is an original. This is a new one that I wrote. I like to think it reads like a book, but I'm not 100% sure about that. This is Heaven on Two Wheels. straight and narrow country road, green and gravel, all that's seen, sky of blue and homes of white, clearings few and far between, a pedal steady as a glide, a balance learned from long ago, generations passed it down, hard and fast or soft and slow. Very few can break this seal. It's just you and this heaven on two wheels. Heaven on two wheels. Wind blows by a chiseled face, salt and pepper on your head, young with just a touch of old, shows the life with which you led. The soulful song you carried on was only ever sung by you. The passers-by where motors run are guessing less than 62. Many passed your steady heels, but one will touch your heaven on two wheels. Your heaven on two wheels. Cell phone rings, four wheels fly past the low speed limit sign. He looks away for just a touch, and luck ain't on your side this time. A crunch of metal, skin and bone breaks the silence of your way. The dust, it settles back to earth. Your blood settles in the clay. Your soul weaves right by this field, and you climb up to heaven on two wheels. To heaven on two wheels. A broken family split for good, gave no chance to mend your home. Friday nights are not the same without the voice you made your own. But we remember all the times you bared your soul for us to hear. And for me you gave the world through your words and through your cheers. So let your spirit be revealed each time I ride my heaven on two wheels. 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 All right, so that was Heaven on Two Wheels. And here's another song that I wrote that feels like it reads like a good story. That's because I hope it is. This is off my first record. This is Chasing Her Dream. I'll do two more songs for you, and then I'll read off some of your answers. Once again, we're asking, what kind of books are you reading? I'm curious to know. This whole series was a good taste-making session, I hope, for all of us. I've discovered some pretty interesting acts and TV shows and movies from the past few episodes of this. This is the final one, so if you have anything you want to share, please let me know. She takes her post at the supermarket, where she's been working since her high school years. Time goes slowly as the patrons come and go by. The constant tone ringing in her ears. But late at night in the darkness of her childhood, after she closes the store, she lies awake with her wings tucked into her blanket, wondering if there's more. She's chasing her dream, wherever it may go, whatever it may be. She's chasing her dream, heaven only knows to what it will lead. She's chasing her dream, she's chasing her dream. She packs her bags and she takes off running. Her goal is the California sun. She meets up with some old friends who have somehow ended up there too. They all know what she had done. Late at night she takes her little Jackie by the hand. He says she'll be okay. She can't see past the smirk that is her own reflection. She drowns the pain away. She's chasing her dream, wherever it may go, whatever it may be. She's chasing her dream, heaven only knows to what it will lead. Oh, his eye is on her as she spins around, but he doesn't stop her as she lays her weary soul down. She lays her weary soul down. In the coolness of a Texas winter, her face holds a mortal stare. She always said she would find herself or die trying. No, no, but it doesn't end there. It's late at night as the rain pounds on my window under the city lights. A little bird spreads her wings for the first time. The sparrow takes her flight. She's chasing her dream, wherever it may go, whatever it may be. She's chasing her dream, heaven only knows to what it will lead. She's chasing her dream. Chasing her dream. She's chasing her dream. I can't sleep tonight. There's 1,000 fireflies. Tomorrow fears it might. Glowing yellow stain more so than I wish to say. The pain of which I sing, built up longer than today. There is still an ember, a flicker of a flame that made it through the worst falls, the desert storm and rain. Tomorrow I will try again, but tonight here I lay. I work through the day. In the moment I ignore, I collect my pain, but I won't return for more. With my inner strife on this filter system too, I can't live my life at a wall I can't break through. There is still an ember, a flicker of a flame, made it through the worst falls, the desert storm and rain. Tomorrow I will try again, but tonight here I lay. When the moon is new, or the cover clouds might stay, that's when I must escape. There's only so much I can take. There is still an ember, a flicker of a flame that made it through the worst falls, the desert storm and rain. Tomorrow I will try again, but tonight here I lay. But I can't move tonight. All right, that was Ember. Well, thanks very much for joining us tonight. I hope you've been able to answer the question here. What kind of books are you reading? Let's see what some people have said here. Let's see. I see Joe is here. Hello, Joe. Let's see what you have reading. James Patterson and John Grisham for fun. That's pretty cool. Let's see. My dad likes mysteries and just read a Karen Slaughter book. He's read several. That's great. Do People magazine and newspapers count? I would say newspapers do, but gossip magazines, that's up in the air, I think. Let's see. My Wall Street Journal may count too, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. Yes, so. I'll see if any more answers come up, but later in the show I'll be giving you my answer. I'll do a couple cover songs that I believe read like good books. It's especially true for these two here. First one is by Richard Thompson, the other is by Bob Dylan. This is the Richard Thompson song. This is 1952 Vincent Black Lightning. Says Red Molly to James, that's a fine motorbike. A girl could feel special on any such line. Says James to Red Molly, my hat's off to you. It's a Vincent Black Lightning 1952. I've seen you at the corners and cafes, it seems. Red hair and black leather, my favorite color scheme. And he pulled her on behind and down to Box Hill they did ride. Says James to Red Molly, here's a ring for your right hand, but I'll tell you in earnest, I'm a dangerous man. For I've fought with the law since I was 17. I've robbed many a man to get my Vincent machine. Now I'm 21 years, I might make 22, and I don't mind dying, but for the love of you. And if fate should take my stride, then I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Come down, Red Molly, called Sergeant McRae, where they've taken young James 80 for armed robbery. Shotgun blast hit his chest, left nothing inside. Oh, come down, Red Molly, to his dying bedside. When she came to the hospital, there wasn't much left. He was running out of road, he was running out of breath. But he smiled to see her cry. He said, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Says James, in my opinion, there's nothing in this world beats a 52 Vincent and a red-headed girl. Now Nortons and Indians and Greaves won't do. They don't have a soul like a Vincent 52. He reached for her hand and he slipped her the keys. He said, I've got no further use for these. I've seen angels and aerials and leather and chrome swooping down from heaven to carry me home. Then he gave her one last kiss and died. And he gave her his Vincent to ride. Alrighty. Moving on. This next one is by Bob Dylan. Well, John Brown went off to war to fight on a foreign shore. His mama sure was proud of him. He stood straight and tall in his uniform and all. His mama's face broke out into a grin. Oh, son, you look so fine. I'm glad you're a son of mine. You make me proud to know you hold a gun. Do what the captain says, lots of medals you will get. We'll put them on the wall when you get home. And that train pulled out. John's mom began to shout, telling everyone in the neighborhood, that's my boy that's about to go. He's a soldier now, you know. She made well sure her neighbors understood. Got a letter once in a while. Her face broke into a smile. She showed him to the people from next door. And she bragged about her son with his uniform and gun. And these things are called a good old-fashioned war. Oh, a good old-fashioned war. Then the letters ceased to come. For a long time they did not come. They ceased to come for about 10 months or more. Then a letter finally came saying, go down and meet the train. Your sons are coming home from the war. She smiled and went right down. She looked everywhere around, but she could not see her soldier son in sight. But as all the people passed, she saw her son at last. When she did, she could not believe her eyes. Oh, his face was all shot off, and his hands were all blown off, and he wore a metal brace around his waist. He whispered kind of slow, in a voice she did not know, while she couldn't even recognize his face. Oh, Lord, not even recognize his face. She said, oh, tell me, my darling son, pray tell me what they've done. How is it that you come to be this way? He tried his best to talk, but his mouth could hardly move, and her mother had to turn her face away. Don't you remember, Ma, when I went off to war? You thought it was the best thing I could do. I was on the battleground, you were home acting proud. You weren't there standing in my shoes. I would have thought when I was there, God, what am I doing here? I'm trying to kill somebody or die trying. But the thing that scared me most was when my enemy came close and I saw that his face looked just like mine. Oh Lord, just like mine. And I couldn't help but think, through the thunder rolling and stink, that I was just a puppet in a play. And through the roar and smoke, the string had finally broke, and a cannonball blew my eyes away. And as he turned away to walk, his ma was still in shock, seeing the metal brace that helped him stand. But as he turned to go, he called his mother close, and he dropped his medals down into her hand. All right, so that was Bob Dylan's John Brown. I'll do a couple more tunes, and then I'll get to my answer to our question of the night. In case you just joined us, that question is, what kind of books are you reading? And we've already gone through some of the answers that we've gotten, and we're going to continue to do so as they come in. But pretty soon I'll be giving my answer for y'all. right, this next song is called Build the City. In Patterson on the bread box line, he lost his home on his own dime. She rules the bright light serenade with a child at her promenade. A thinner man in the tightest jeans, a husband sick in bed asleep. From the ashes of pain and pity, come together, let's build this city. Innocence with charcoal skin, his brother shot by a blue man's tin, mother trapped in a textile mill, risked her hand for her mouths to fill. Concrete towers proud and tall, how many iron workers fall. From the ashes of pain and pity, come together, let's build this city. We used to be a solid land, planted firmly in the sand. Our shops were called our conscience here. Wake up to see just what they did. They ripped apart the prophet's tongue, and the murderer is free to run. The gambler hits a sloping stride, climbing up to the money's high. The working man is a beggar's kiss. God knows we are better than this. So from the ashes of pain and pity, come together, let's build this city. 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 All right, so that was Build This City. Do another one, and then I'll give my answer to our question of the day. What do we get here? Another comment here. I have no clue what that is. Sorry. All right, moving on. This is another song that was inspired by a trip to New York City. That'll lead into something I'm going to talk about a little later. All right, here we go. This is Uptown Shell. Towers and streets, they never spare a passing glance at a cold, mangled-bodied and threadbare rats. Calloused hands, hefty bags under bloodshot eyes. Concrete wrist, the sidewalk's my bed tonight. So be polite, I am an uptown shell, no place to rest my head upon. I am an uptown shell, everything I had is gone. See day after day, held by the poison in my hand. Stumbling through, hold down a job as long as I can. The choices I made leave me searching for reason and rhyme. Where it went wrong, I wonder as I bide my time. It's all that's mine. I am an uptown shell, no place to rest my head upon. I am an uptown shell. Everything I had is gone, 'cause even the doctors have their dens, and the birds of the air have nests. But there is no place to rest for an uptown shell. Though I'm drunk and I can't pay, I still have hope it can get better someday. Buildings shine in the heat of the sun. If you survive the day, you have won. I am an uptown shell, no place to rest my head upon. I am an uptown shell. Everything I had is gone, 'cause even the foxes have their dens, and the birds of the air have nests. But there is no place to rest for an uptown shell. No place for an uptown shell. Okie doke. So that was Uptown Shell. I'll go through. We got another answer here from our friend Susan High, who said she's alternating between easy, mindless mysteries and self-help books. That's fair enough. My answer is kind of a self-help book in some sort of way, but nonetheless, I am going to share my answer for you. We are talking about some stuff here, and my answer is, it takes me a long time to read a book. Oftentimes, I don't have the best attention span, and it often gets in the way of other things that I enjoy a little bit more. That's one of the curses of being in the internet age. But I do have a couple of books that I am in the process of reading. One of them is right back here. This is a book called Born for Love. This is recommended to me by my therapist. Why Empathy is Essential and Endangered. It's written by two doctors who work very closely with that emotion, and they give several real-world examples of different stages of that emotion and why it is important. I started reading it 2 years ago, and I'm halfway through it. Another book I'm reading is Bruce Springsteen's memoir, Born to Run. That's another book. It's taken me a while to read, but I also have an audio book attached to that one, so I'm probably going to be finishing it sometime soon. I am more than halfway through with that one, but it's still a while. And Joe asks, how was Bruce? And yes, that is right. The news is out. If you've watched the Today Show, you probably already know this, but I was, on Saturday, I went to see Springsteen on Broadway, the opening night of the, revival, you can say, of Springsteen on Broadway. I went there with my mother, and we had a lot of fun. It was a really, really great show. If you've seen the Netflix special of of Springsteen on Broadway, you probably have a good idea of what the show's about. But he did change a few things. He poked a bit of fun at his arrest in November, which surprised me. I thought he wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole, but he did. He did. And if you watched the Today Show on Sunday, you may have seen like half a second snippet of me walking in, we and my mother, walking into the theater to get in there. We were on national TV for like half a second. That's always exciting when you see your own face on TV like that, in a story that has nothing to do with you. But anyway, I'm going to continue on with the music here. This is one of those songs that, of all the songs tonight that I'm covering that I am singing tonight that seem to read like a good book, this is probably the best one of them all. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. This is Al Stewart's Roads to Moscow. Crossed over the border the hour before dawn, moving in lines through the day. Most of our planes were destroyed on the ground where they lay. Waiting for orders we held in the wood. Word from the front never came. By evening, the sound of the gunfire was miles away. Softly we moved through the shadows, slip away through the trees, crossing their lines in the mists and the fields, on our hands and our knees. And all that I ever was able to see, fire in the air, glowing red, silhouetting the smoke on the breeze. All summer they drove us back through the Ukraine. Smolensk and Vyazma soon fell. By autumn we stood with our backs to the town of Orel. Closer and closer to Moscow they come, riding the wind like a bell. General Guderian stands at the crest of the hill. Winter brought with her the rains. Oceans of mud filled the roads, gluing the tracks of their tanks to the ground, while the sky filled with snow. And all that I ever was able to see, the fire in the air, glowing red, silhouetting the snow on the breeze. In the footsteps of Napoleon, the shadow figures staggered through the winter, falling back before the gates of Moscow, standing in the wings like an avenger. And far away behind the lines, the partisans are stirring in the forest, coming unexpectedly upon their outpost, growing like a promise. You'll never know which way to turn, which way to look, you'll never see us. As we're stealing through the blackness of the night, you'll never know, you'll never hear us. And the evening sings in a voice of amber, the dawn is surely coming. The morning road leads to Stalingrad, and the sky is softly humming. Two broken tigers on fire in the night flicker their souls to the wind. We wait in the lines for the final approach to begin. It's been almost 4 years that I've carried a gun. At home, it will almost be spring. The flames of the tigers are lighting the road to Berlin. Quickly we move through the ruins that bow to the ground. The old men and children they send out to face us, they can't slow us down. And all that I ever was able to see, the eyes of the city are opening now. It's the end of the dream. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. You can taste it in the wind, the war is over. And as I listen to the clicking of the train wheels as we roll across the border, now they ask me of the time that I was caught behind their lines and taken prisoner. They only held me for a day, a lucky break I say. They turn and listen closer. I'll never know why I was taken from the line and all the others to board a special train and journey deep into the heart of holy Russia. And it's cold and damp in the transit camp, and the air is still and sullen. And the pale sun of October whispers the snow will soon be coming. And I wonder when I'll be home again. And the morning answers never. And the evening sighs and the steely Russian skies go on forever. All right, so that was Al Stewart's Roads to Moscow. I'm going to advance a couple songs in the set list here. Move on to some more original tunes for you. This is a song off my first album. I always do, in addition to talking about songs that read like a good book, I'm also a big fan of albums that read like a good book. Albums where you can see like a common theme or a storyline in between the lines of each song. And a good example of that is Ellis Paul's The Day After Everything Changed. First time I heard it all the way through, no stopping, and I could just sense the story of a single relationship going from beginning to end and all the little moments in between. And I really admired that. And I tried to do that with my first album. For most of it, some of the songs that I'd written for it didn't really fit the mold of a story in particular. There were stories in the individual songs, but I tried to see if I could I tried to see if I could tell some kind of narrative with each of the songs, and I sort of did. I did a song. I did the last songs on the album, from all the way from Anti-Man to Lucky Man down the bottom. Those songs were ordered as if they were in some sort of narrative, even though the stories behind the songs are completely different from each other. I tried to see if I could tell some kind of story like what Ellis Paul did with The Day After Everything Changed, and I decided to make this song kind of the centerpiece of it, talking about somebody who's heartbroken and somebody else is trying to reach out to him. This is called Let Me In. You're a loner. You set yourself apart from the world and locked yourself away. Ever since you took away your life, your girl, in solitude you stay. He moved out, and she followed not too far behind, shattering your heart. I saw it all from a distance. I hope you don't mind. She was wrong from the start. I love you, I need you, and I think you need me too. Let me in, and I will set you free. I can show you what love's supposed to be. No more tricks, no more games. I'll be yours and I won't forget your name. Just let me in. Years ago, you had me in the pit of your heart, and you didn't see your chance. We met eyes, and your voice pierced into me like a dart, and I melted in your glance. I love you, I need you, and I think you need me too. Let me in, and I will set you free. I can show you what love's supposed to be. No more tricks, no more games. I'll be yours and I won't forget your name. Just let me in. I've been here the whole time, lingering in your shadow, hoping you will notice me. Yeah, I'm the one you're looking for, standing right in front of you. Open your eyes and see. Let me in, and I will set you free. I can show you what love's supposed to be. No more tricks, no more games. I'll be yours and I won't forget your name. Just All right, so that was Let Me In. It's 8 o'clock now. I'm going to do 2 more songs for you then, and then we'll cut off and come back again. We'll come back again on Wednesday. I have a new song, brand new, just written song that I'll be debuting on Wednesday. It's called Dust on My Face, and I'll be debuting that on Wednesday. I'll also be doing more of it on a couple of in-person shows that will be coming up, hopefully. But in the meantime, this is the last cover that I'll do. It's another great story song about a single night where 2 old lovers meet again. This is Dan Fogelberg's Same Old Lang Syne. Met my old lover in the grocery store. The snow was falling Christmas Eve. I stole behind her in the frozen foods, and I touched her on the sleeve. She didn't recognize my face at first, but then her eyes flew open wide. She went to hug me and she spilled her purse, and we laughed until we cried. We took our groceries to the checkout stand. The food was totaled up and bad. We stood there lost in our embarrassment as the conversation dragged. We went to have ourselves a drink or two, but couldn't find an open bar. We bought a 6-pack at the liquor store, and we drank it in her car. We drank a toast to innocence. We drank a toast to now. We tried to reach beyond the emptiness, but neither one knew how. She said she married her an architect who kept her warm and safe and dry. She would have liked to say she loved the man, but she didn't like to lie. She said the years have been a friend to her, and that her eyes were still as blue. But in those eyes I wasn't sure if I saw doubt or gratitude. She said she saw me in the record stores, and that I must be doing well. I said the audience was heavenly, but the traveling was hell. We drank a toast to innocence. We drank a toast to now, and tried to reach beyond the emptiness, but neither one knew how. We drank a toast to innocence. We drank a toast to time, reliving in our eloquence another old lang syne. The beer was empty and our tongues were tired, and running out of things to say. She gave a kiss to me as I got out, and I watched her drive away. Just for a moment I was back in school and felt that old familiar pain. And as I turned to make my way back home, the snow turned into rain. All right, well, thanks again so much for tuning in tonight. That was Dan Fogelberg's Auld Lang Syne. I'm going to do one more for you, then I'm going to close up. Once again, I just want you reminded that our next live stream is going to be on Wednesday, June 30th, where I will be singing a brand new song for you that I just wrote called Dust on My Face. It's not going to be on the next record, but it might be released as a single, depending on when I can get some instrumentation arrangements done for it. But thanks again, of course. I hope you can join me for that. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a like on the video and share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, or wherever. If you want, you can also join my mailing list at kylehancherek.com/mailing-list. If you're interested in providing financial support, you can go on to Patreon. Patreon, actually, I'm going to be releasing a recording of Dust on My Face, just me and the guitar, on a couple days after the debut of the song on stream. So if you're interested in that, please become a patron at patreon.com/kylehancherek. If you want to give a one-time donation, you can do paypal.me/kylehancherek. Any support is very much appreciated. And one more time, the next live stream will be Wednesday. So I hope you can join me for that. I'm going to close out with this song. This is How You Say Goodbye. Thanks very much for watching tonight. The bases are loaded. I bow down to the floor. A single shot on this green plot is all I'm asking for. September is faded, no room for wanting more. My sad goodbye that's spoken through this stadium ensures. The temple is floating, the cheers sound much too good. The backyard sales of tallest tales is far too understood. I'm taking my chances with a slightly crooked grin and a fire in my eyes in a timely telling sin. If the pitch comes in over the plate, just the right speed and perfectly straight, the swing of the bat and it cracks and the crowd goes wild. It's a long line drive to dead center field. It's over the wall and the legacy seal. That, my friends, is how you say goodbye. So many moments, but none to save the day. I never had that chance, but that's the price I had to pay. But now I am grounded. Fans ignite the flame, and the lightning says straight road ahead to glory and to fame. When the pitch comes in over the plate, just the right speed and perfectly straight, swinging the bat and it cracks and the crowd goes wild. It's a long long line drive to dead center field. It's over the wall and the legacy sealed. That, my friends, is how you say goodbye. Oh, this face looks better than a morning glory bloom, but I'm struck out way more times you can fit in this old room. As I turn to leave, I'll find strength I'll never tell. So I'm climbing up the down escalator for one last kiss farewell. And the pitch comes in over the plate, just the right speed and perfectly straight. I swing the bat and it cracks and the crowd goes wild. It's a long line drive to dead center field. It's over the wall and the legacy seal. And that, my friends, is how you say goodbye. Oh, and that, my friends, is how I said goodbye. Thanks again. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. It's always great to get on live stream again and hang out with you guys. And I hope that you were somewhat enlightened by our taste in movies, TV shows, music, and books that we were able to bring up in this series. This is the end of it. And don't forget to join me on Wednesday, June 30th, where I'll be debuting a brand new song. Hope you can join me for that. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for coming out, and I will see you on Wednesday. Peace and love, you guys. See you later.